Hey guys, so right now I'm going to be doing a video comparison between the Solstice, Rebel Sabers Solstice, and the Ultrasabers Initiate. So I'm gonna just do quickly the similarities between the two. They are both completely metal hilts. They both have light, um, and you can both remove the pommel, and they're both dual worthy, dual worthy. Sabers, I haven't really tested either. I can say though, the Ultra Sabers one, you can beat up some things with this. I did smash someone's iPad with this. The iPad was broken already, so I pranked my sister and made her think I broke her iPad when it was someone else's entirely, and they were completely fine with it because they were getting a new iPad anyway. So the colors that you can get with this, it is the white LED, and I'm only going to show you four other colors other than white with this because it is pretty hard to get decent colors with the colored discs. I'm just going to show you red, yellow, green, and blue, and then I'm going to do a comparison of those colors with this. So the Initiate does not have sound. It only has light. I was going to upgrade it and put a soundboard from a toy saber in there. However, I did not get to because my friend who was going to be modifying the soundboard a bit, making it just making it sure it's ready for me to throw in here because I don't have many electrical tools or anything. He never got to finish that. So to change the color of the blade, I have to unscrew the blade, and I'm just going to do that quickly. I'm not going to film it because I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to waste your time, and I don't want to make the video really long. So yeah. Okay, so I have them both set to red. Use this one using color discs, and this just using the RGB LEDs. I turned the sound off for this because it is really loud. So I'm going to start with the short blade. So this may look somewhat bright, but it gets completely dwarfed by this. Yeah, it makes this one look like a toy. Yeah, I can actually barely see the LED in person on this one. It looks like it's just getting lit up by this blade. So, yep. This one does not have all that much power. Okay, so now I have them both set to yellow. This is the Ultra Sabers yellow. It looks pretty bright on camera, but it looks pretty dull in person. But this is actually one of the best colors to get with the color discs, aside from white and green. They're both pretty bright, but this is now orange. I don't know why it's orange. God dang it. But it's still insanely brighter. 1 second. I'm going to fix this. Oh, there we go. There's a yellow. It's kind of pale yellow, but it is yellow. Yeah, it looks completely white on camera, but it still dwarfs this yellow. Yeah. Now I'm going to go to green. Okay, so now they are both green. This does look somewhat good on camera, but in person it looks very boring. It looks like a green LED from a kid's lightsaber. Now I'm going to turn this one on. So you can still see that they're both lit, which is better than the red, I can say, but this provides a much more vibrant green and a much brighter green, and this has a shorter blade. So this should be carrying light much better, but it doesn't because color discs are stupid, and Ultra Sabers is very expensive, which is why I got this instead of the light and sound. But yeah, the comparison between this is insane. This looks like a real lightsaber compared to this. Yeah. I'm going to go to blue next. And now I'm going blue for this saber and this saber. So this provides on camera a decent looking like Arctic blue. In person it's also very dull. After seeing this, this used to look good to me. I don't know why. But yeah, this also completely dwarfs this. Looks like a kid's toy compared to this, and Yeah, and the only reason I'm not doing all colors I can do with this is because purple doesn't look good whatsoever, and I hate orange in general. So yeah, I'm going to show you why the colors on this show up much brighter than that, and why it looks like a kid's toy. So the reason that the Ultrasabers colors look so muted is because I have to use two color discs for any color that I'm trying to get a decent color of. You know, I have to use two red, or else it's going to look like a even muted pink. I have to use two yellow, or else it's going to show up fairly muted. This disc here does do a decent yellow, but it's still not like a great yellow. Two green and two blue. If I do one of even the darker colors, it's going to show up as a light blue, a light green, a pretty light, pretty washed out yellow, and a decent red. Well, no, a somewhat decent pink. They're all very washed out colors, and this happens with every single color. To show you this, I popped in one of the red discs, and it shows up as pink on the wall. It shows up as a somewhat decent red on camera, but it looks insanely pink. So I'm going to just show you all one color disc. This is the lighter of the two yellows. It shows up somewhat decent on camera, but then if you look at this and compare it to the other yellow, it is really, really washed out. Here is the other yellow. This looks like a much better yellow on camera and in person. And now I'm just going to show you green. So here is the light green color disc. It looks white, kind of white in person, and it looks like a washed out green on camera. They're both washed out and boring. So I'm going to show you now the other green. Here is the other green disc. It looks somewhat blue on camera, which is why in person the green looked like a greenish blue. Here is the light blue color disc. It shows up almost completely white on the wall and slightly blue on camera. And this blue shows up as a much brighter blue on camera, but it still looks insanely washed out on the wall in person. Now, just for fun, I'm going to show you the color discs that I didn't use, which are pink, orange, and two purples. So here is the pink. It looks very nice on camera, but it looks only decent on the wall, and it looks kind of dim. And the only reason I didn't use this is because I don't like pink. Now here's orange. It shows up pretty decent on the wall and on camera, but I also don't use this because I hate orange. Now this is the lighter of the two purple color discs. It looks barely purple. It looks almost white on camera and slightly purple in person. And here's the other purple color disc. This is the darker purple color disc. It looks pretty much white on the camera, and it looks slightly purple on the wall. And this is what both purple color discs look like together. Yeah, it shows up not that bad in person, but it shows up more pink on camera. But if I had the blade in, this would look washed out and very, very boring. So right now I'm going to quickly go over the pros and cons of buying the Ultrasabers Initiate, the Solstice, and buying from each of their companies. So pros of buying the Initiate and buying from Ultrasabers in general. You know what you're buying because they are a very established company, and they have a very good reputation. Cons, I would say, are one, the lens in there rattles, and it's very annoying. Two, the lightsaber you get, if you want a decent price saber, it's going to be very, very boring to look at. Because like this is boring itself, and this is not what it looked like when it came to me. I painted the black striping myself. And you also, if you want a decent cost, you have to give up sound and your light choices. And now the pros and cons of buying from Rebel Sabers. Pros would be they are very cheap saber. company. They're very inexpensive. Um, they are you get your bang for your buck. Um, the from the blade quality to the quality of the hilt and the electronics, it is very inexpensive. Um, Another pro would be well, the look of the sabers. This one costs 150, while this one only costs 75. But even the ones that cost roughly this price with these components don't look as good as this. What else? And I would say overall, just the fact that you get like instead of just having to use double A's like this, you get a rechargeable battery with this, which is just not much easier than placing batteries every day, every so often. You just plug it in. It's easy. Now, cons of the Rebel Sabers Solstice, and I'd say maybe buying from Rebel Sabers. The shipping, they use DHL, which I don't like DHL. I would much rather they use FedEx, USPS, or another company. But I do know that they come from Hong Kong, and I don't know if FedEx is available there, and I know USPS is not because it's the U.S. Post Office. Where this I think uses FedEx. It ships reliably, and they don't like hold your order for a day for no reason. Meanwhile, DHL did that to me, but I still got this much faster. They make your saber much quicker because they don't have to make the saber with a different LED in it or different things. They can just mass produce the saber parts, slap them together, and ship out because they always ship with an RGB LED and sound. Even the much low end, much more low end sabers that cost $90. What else? Cons would be, there are not many. I would say another one would be the edge on some of the parts are somewhat sharp, not very sharp, but they kind of dig into your hand if you're holding it really tight, like a death grip, not trying to throw your saber. And one thing that I don't like about the sabers is the button here. It's just small. That's my only complaint, really. Like this one, it's nice and big, Where this one, it's a little harder to get my thumb in there, which is the finger I use to ignite the saber. But oh, and one more thing would be this piece here. It is a pro and con at the same time. It is a pro because it hides the set screws for the blade, but it's also like if you're gonna take out the blade, it's annoying to unscrew this, then unscrew both instead of just unscrewing two screws. And another thing I would say is the set screws that came with it are very small, which leads to them getting lost more easily. And it also it doesn't. I feel I feel it's more secure when they use the longer screws, because these are completely flush with the saber, yet they have a decent amount of screw in here to hold the blade. Meanwhile, this does not sit flush with the saber, which is why I hide the screws with the this piece. But overall, like if you want a beginner's saber, get the Initiate and get like blue, or really any color you want. Even if you do want the choice to change the colors, then get the white with the color discs and just know that the colors are going to be muted and washed out. And if you're a more intermediate, or if you're more savvy lightsaber buyer, I guess, and you want to get a saber that's cheap but very well built, and you can put more than one hand on without looking like you're holding a kid's toy, then get the Solstice, because it's a really nice saber, and you have 6 sound fonts, which is 6 more than the Ultrasabers. And yeah, if you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe. Take this all with like a grain of salt, because it's really just my experience with both companies. So yeah, peace out.